Hi, this video is about the best ways to get indexed in Google. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to get your website indexed in Google fast and why I and most SEO experts I know really never think about this. And it kind of says the fact that if you're asking this question, it's likely that there are some missing pieces in your understanding, and that really chasing this aggressively is pretty wasteful. And so I'm going to talk about how to get this done without wasting any time, without doing extra tasks that you don't really need to do. About me, my name is David Hood, and I've done SEO for well over 7 years and made well over $1 million. And I'm on a mission to help 10,000 people make their first $1 million online, primarily with SEO. Okay, so what's sort of the main condition where you really are thinking people are thinking about getting things indexed, and it typically would be like a new site. You have a new site. Who dis? I mean, basically, Google will, you put up a new site. How long does it take to get it indexed? Well, it varies dramatically. Sometimes it happens really quickly without you doing anything. And sometimes it takes a bit longer. Honestly, I really wouldn't worry about it, because I know that eventually it's going to happen, and I'm going to explain that in a few minutes. At the same time, I'm going to talk about a few different ways where you can get this index fast. So the Google Webmaster Tools or the Search Console, they're the same thing. And if you go into there, you register your site with that, that's already going to help. You can go to URL inspection right here. You can see this in the top left, and then put in here, whatever your website. This is going to help it get indexed. It's kind of at their discretion, but typically this works pretty well. This is essentially their fetch URL as Google. I think that's what they call it now. It's gone through different names. You can also submit a sitemap, which if you're using WordPress is pretty easy to generate. Believe they automatically generate a sitemap up to get the exact XML URL. Maybe you can use, there's tons of free plugins where 2 minutes after you are looking at it, you can have a URL to submit to Google. This is going to help potentially as well. I typically, again, do not deal with sitemaps very often. Really, in my experience, you don't really need to do sitemaps unless you have like a really massive site. And even then, I think that's kind of not the point. So one of the main reasons why you really shouldn't focus too much on the indexing is it's not about indexing, it's about ranking. And if you do the things that help you rank, then your site will naturally index, because you can't rank without being indexed. So basically just keep calm and just do SEO. Just do normal SEO things. And one of the main things you can do to help you get indexed is to build links. And so by having links pointing to your website, it basically tells Google, hey, this is something that's popular and it's something that you should pay attention to. And the more you build links that are quality, the faster you can expect to be indexed. And you're going to need these to rank anyways. And this is why I almost never use the fetch as URL unless there's some sort of quick feature. I've only used it a handful of times, and again, I've never really needed it. But it's something that you can do. I'd rather build a link to the website because I'm gonna need to do that anyways. Okay, so basically, normal SEO activities will index your site sooner than later. Right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. And so if you essentially ignore these indexing, don't worry about the sitemap that much. If at all. I usually don't, especially if you have WordPress. It kind of naturally makes it easy for Google to find all the pages. And really, you want to be able to interlink your pages properly. If you're doing that and you're link building to your site, and your site is organized in a way to where when Google arrives on the home page, they can crawl to all the pages you want them to find, even if it's not like directly one hop. If it's several hops down from your home page, so that doesn't mean that you have to link to every page on your site from your home page. That's not what I mean. But there needs to be a path of X number of links from the home page to a page you want to rank. This also applies to the site as a whole, as well as inner pages. I think a lot of times people are thinking of, indexing their site, their site isn't in Google's index at all. But then also I've gotten the question of, I've got these thousands of pages and they're only indexing a few of these. So the same general thing applies. You can do fetch as URL. and that can't work. I think it's much less likely to work pretty quickly as opposed to if you do the homepage. But really what you should be doing is making sure that your site is organized properly from an interlinking standpoint, and then if you really want those pages to link to be indexed, then link to them. Now, if you have a bunch of those pages are a bunch of duplicates of each other, it's going to be harder to get those indexed because Google doesn't want to index duplicate content. At the same time, that doesn't completely remove it, so it's still quite possible. Now, this is a separate issue if you used to be indexed and your site is no longer indexed, or there's a page that used to be indexed and it's no longer indexed. That it's possible that you're dealing with one of these kind of penalty or filters. Especially like Panda will, if you have like duplicate content, Panda can sometimes hit you. Penguin, in my experience, tend to hit you more. More has to do with like if you have spammy links, and these have evolved over time. And there's all sorts of. I don't think this is not an exhaustive list. This is just one list here. So that's very separate. If you get penalized, just submitting, just building more links or submitting your URL is probably not going to fix it. So you really have to be able to debug it, and that's a whole other discussion. But if you have like a new site and your pages or your site are not being indexed, then really what you should be doing is just doing normal SEO activities, because just getting it indexed isn't going to really help you. It's not going to suddenly drive a bunch of traffic. What is going to really help you is actually ranking. Okay, so and by doing the submit as URL type things, you're essentially doing extra tasks, which you have a limited amount of time. You could have spent that time doing more SEO. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe for more excellent videos from Digital Domination Dojo. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.